So I started this whole thing as a way to, like I said, motivate myself, motivate you. So this whole Corona content is something that I'm doing at 11 o'clock every day, around 11, only because every now and then we're a little bit after 11. This morning, obviously, I was after 11 because Facebook was not letting me go on. Seemed like it wouldn't let me go on, stop 3 times. But don't worry about that. Nonetheless, we are still here to give it to the people. So today I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things, but let's start out first with my beverage. What did I get on here? Oh my goodness. All right. So this right here is the logo for a person that is really awesome and amazing. Victor Vincent, he has a company that is called the Reentry Expert. What he does is he helps people that are coming out of jail to be able to get jobs, to be able to get some of the education that they need, just to even know where the resources are, which is really a big thing because oftentimes when people get out of jail, what do they tell you? You got to go get a job. But there may be people who have all different kinds of disabilities. There may be somebody who never knew how to read. There may be somebody who didn't even know how to actually fill out applications. And what is the process when you get out for you being able to stay out and stay productive? So that's what he does. So he is right now in a competition where he can win $1,000 for his nonprofit. And all I need you to do is just vote. Okay. So if you can go to Future Fund GSO, vote for him, the reentry expert, then this will help him. And you can vote once a day up until I think the 19th of April. So I bought this cup from him. When would they have the event? Homecoming time, so October. And I was like, you know what, let me get 2 of these cups. When I'm telling you, these cups are actually really awesome because they hold that ice, they keep the coolness inside of here. So I have my little beverage in here this morning. I'm drinking a little raspberry lemonade. And I'm asking you to just go ahead and vote and go to Future Fund GSO and click the reentry expert. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. So if you can vote for him, that'd be really great because he's doing something that's wonderful and necessary in the community. All right. So now let's jump in. Today we're talking about PayPal. So I want to give you some specific things. One, for what I'm talking about, you would have to already have a PayPal business account or need to establish a PayPal business account. So that means that you'll either be, one thing, filing as a sole proprietor, or two, what you would be doing, either filing as a sole proprietor, or two, you would already be incorporated and have your LLC, your LLP, whatever, right? So when you go to get your PayPal account, then you will go ahead and put your information in for your EIN number and all of that, where you're at, your address and everything. You get a business account. This is really more so for people who already have a business account. I'm just throwing that part in there for people who don't have a PayPal business account. But there are 4 things that I really want to touch on that PayPal is doing. So if you already have a business account, go ahead and type in, let me know that you have one. And then this will be really beneficial to you if you haven't seen it or maybe you just didn't pay attention to it. So PayPal, and I have a business account, and with that business account, I have a debit card that allows me to then make purchases wherever I want to make purchases, allows me to send invoices if I choose to send them from there, allows me, if I want to have my membership, to have things automatically billed. PayPal also allows me to then transfer money to my bank account if I choose that I want to do that, or I can just leave it there. You can send money, of course, instead of you going to Western Union like you used to have to back in the days, right? And it also gives me a unique URL so that if I want people to pay me, then they can just go to paypal.com. paypal.me/ladybusiness, and they'd be able to drop some coins up in my account. All right. So just giving you some of those reasons why. And those are the things that I like. But what they're doing right now is, one, so I'm gonna give you 4 things. One, they are waiving fees on chargebacks. So a chargeback is basically like if your customer files a dispute, then usually what they would do is they would charge you like if that came back, like if the customer disputed something. But if the customer files a dispute with the credit card issuer, they are gonna waive fees on any chargebacks from March 26th to April 30th. So if you had any chargebacks on your account, they will then waive any fees for that all the way up until the 30th. So that's one thing that's really important. Now, hopefully you're doing really great customer service and you don't have any customers that are doing any chargebacks, so that might not even be applicable, but it's something for you to know. 2, they're extending customer dispute resolution period. Now, it used to be if somebody would dispute, what would happen is you would have 10 days to go ahead and say, well, based on this dispute, this is why this person shouldn't get their money back. Basically, you provided services. Basically, maybe the person was lying, because sometimes people do lie, whatever, right? You have 10 10 days to do that. But now, because of the COVID, you now have 20 days to dispute anything, and you can respond to those disputes up until April 30th based on that. So if you did have a dispute out there, then you need to go ahead and you have until April 30th, but you get 20 days to do it now. So a lot of times, if you're not paying attention and you're really busy and you're not seeing those emails come through, you might not even see the dispute up there. But it's your job as a business owner to, make sure that you get those notifications on your phone from PayPal, check your email, and then if you do have a dispute, that especially if the person is trying to run a maneuver, because I have had people do that before, where you can prove that you provided services, whatever, rendered services, or product delivery, all of that type of stuff. You don't have to worry about that, but you have 20 days to do that now. 3, they're also doubling the cashback rewards in partnership with MasterCard on all purchases from April 1st until April 30th. And this is why I said this is a little bit more important for my people who already had it. So maybe you had a PayPal business account, but you didn't have the debit card that comes along with it. If you do have that card like I have, then what it would enable you to do is get double cash back. So now let's look at it like this. Y'all ready for the real maneuver? The real maneuver is go ahead, instead of using your regular bank account card that you would use your PayPal business, right? And then go ahead and get those double points, because it always does give me money. I get money like every year. I think it's twice a year when they go ahead and they give you some rebate type money and they'll deposit it. It'll be a little bit if you haven't spent as much. It'll be more if you spent more. You know how that works. So, and the thing is, if it's already attached to your bank account, it can just pull from your bank account, or you can just transfer the money from your bank account into PayPal. You could do whatever you need. Or maybe you just have money sitting in PayPal that you could use to pay for stuff. So just giving you some options, because that's always my thing. So instead of you using, like, let's say your regular bank is not giving out anything special, then use the PayPal business card. Now, mind you, when I'm saying that, for business charges, okay? So if you can justify the reason that you went to the grocery store and repay that money, it could end up being a logistical nightmare from a accounting standpoint, depending on how you're using it. But if you have business purchases that you're making, it makes sense for you to use that business PayPal. And then this way you can go ahead and you can get those extra little points and stuff that they're offering. Now, the fourth and final thing that's the most important, and if you've been on this, I have said this before. So let me tell you what happens usually with PayPal. Usually with PayPal, your money sits in there and they'll tell you that they can transfer your money to your bank account. And they'll tell you that if you want the money transferred instantly, it's going to cost you a percentage of whatever it is that you're going to send, right? Now, and it'll tell you that it can transfer it immediately. Now, if you don't want it transferred immediately because you don't want to take any money out of the money, basically you don't want to pay to send yourself your own money, then it tells you it takes about 3 business days. Now, I'm not for paying to get my own money. Like, I would have to be in an emergency situation. So I did this actually last month and I told people about this. And now guess what they're doing, which this is like bright idea. So now what they're doing is giving you instant funds transfer for free. So you don't even have to worry about that. All the fees that they would normally charge you to transfer your money from your PayPal to your regular bank account, free. You don't have to worry about spending any money now or them taking something out. Now, this is through April 30th and it transfers in minutes. Now, the minutes is contingent upon your bank. So you might see it like some people might come up in 3 minutes. Some people might take 30 minutes. It just depends on your bank. And I would also imagine that it depends on like how many transfers are actually going out at a certain time. I don't know what their bandwidth and all of that is, but this is important because what if you needed that money in your other bank account and not necessarily in your PayPal because you had some charges that were coming out and you'd be able to do that? Or what if you use your PayPal as where you kind of pay yourself from and then you want to move some money into your business account? I don't know how you want to do it. Just giving you options, just telling you some things that you can do to make things a little bit easier for yourself. And I'm really proud of PayPal for doing this. Now, I haven't seen anything where they're giving out any money though, okay? They do have 2 different loan types, so you can go on PayPal and check their business loans. They have 2 different kinds that they're doing, but the loans that come from PayPal, and this was before COVID happened in the first place, one, you have to be making at least $45,000 or more. And the other one, you have to be making at least $15,000 or more. And so there are 2 different types of loans, but you can, this is meaning that based on your receipts that went into your account. So when they calculate how much money is going in there, then this way, if you do get a certain amount of money coming into your account, which means people are spending with you on a regular basis, not like you're just transferring money in there, but you have actual sales revenue that generates $15,000 for the lower level and then $45,000 for the higher level, then they will approve approve you for loans. Now, I've had one client specifically that I know that applied and got $10,000 in a few minutes. Okay. And this was actually about 3 years ago. But I do know that that is one of the things, because then what they do is take a percentage of your sales and they utilize that for you to pay the loan back. But if you do that with the loans right now, they're even offering you 90 days to not pay anything back. So why is that important for you? It's important for you because if you do have that sales volume coming through PayPal, then that would enable you to get approved for a loan really quickly without you having to go through your regular bank. And the money would be in your PayPal account basically almost immediately. They say about 24 hours, but as soon as she finished the application, her money was in there. So just giving you options, right? Because I don't know where your money is and how much you make, and if you're using PayPal as your main place that you take money. So if you want to build that up and you know that you're close to that threshold, I would suggest using PayPal as your main thing where the money comes in. Even if you have multiple sites, or even if you're getting payments from different people or your invoices, and that would be an easier way to do it. And you know what? Something just dawned on me like click. I don't even have my stuff come into there. I send my invoices out, but I get checks. I wonder if they could remit it that way. No, probably not, only because of how I get my stuff through the state. So for me, it's probably not going to work in that way, but it's just because of how I get paid. The state cuts physical checks. They don't direct deposit with contractors. But for other people where you do have your money that's coming directly in there, so like let's say if you have multiple online stores and you can have everything coming to PayPal, it would still come into one PayPal account. Even if you have people where they're doing the transactions and you're running it on the credit card, it would still come into one PayPal. So just giving you that, because I want you to be aware of what's happening. Now, the final thing that I'm going to tell you today, and the reason we're going kind of fast is because I have a webinar at 12. So I'm going to be teaching today LinkedIn, amplify your LinkedIn. So this is a brand new course that I have not taught anybody before, but I promise you it's going to be awesome. So if you want to register, you need to get off of here as soon as possible. Then go ahead and register and then jump on, because the Small Business Center has to send you the thing, and then you can be on the webinar. Okay. And it's live and it's not recorded. So let me just say that, okay? This is going to be a premium course that'll be coming out within the next week or so. That will be in my online academy. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that later, but that's not today's whole shindig. So today's shindig, I started a thing because I started to see that as I'm doing this, there was a lot of small businesses that were reaching out to me and said, well, can you share this? My business is doing this. My business needs that. So what did I do? The hashtag share small biz is what I'm using, and I want you to use it too. So hashtag share small biz, of course, BIZ, you know how we do. We got to keep it in the family, keep it branded, honey, but share small biz. But I'm taking it a whole nother level. Instead of just like sharing your posts, I am taking the levels up. Now, let me tell you, this is a paid service. So if you want, then we can do this for you. And I'm going to tell you why it's valuable for you and why I should actually be charging more, right? So for $50, okay? $50 is all it costs you. For $50, what you will get is a custom branding graphic. And so that graphic will be able to go out on social media, and it will basically tell people that you're part of the Share Small Biz kind of family, and this mantra that we're putting out to let people to know to share about your small biz. So it'll have your picture on it, your logo on it, and it'll have just, the basic stuff on it, and let people know about where you're at online, okay? And then inside of any content that we put out, we'll put your website, let people know about your business. So you get the customized graphic. You also will get a blog post that goes out, and then we can give you the link to the blog post so that this way you can share it, which helps people to be able to see, okay, well, somebody cared enough about my business to blog about it. But in addition to that, what I'm going to do is do a podcast interview with you. So this will be something that is over the phone. So now what you can do with that podcast interview is you can take that, we'll send you the embed code so you can put it in your own website. In addition to that, we'll have it listed up on the podcast, which our podcasts go out to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Spreaker, Deezer. Our podcast also goes out to iHeartRadio. And I probably am missing somebody. Oh, it goes out to Spotify, of course. So at least 8 to 9 outlets where our podcast goes out to. So more people will be able to hear about your business. Again, you can embed that in your website. You'll have a link where you can share it with people. So now this enables you to be able to continue to market your business after this is over. All of that for $50. But wait, there's more. In addition to that, what I'm going to do for that $50 is send you a one-page marketing plan that you can use so that this way you can see how to put this whole thing together to make it most beneficial for you and for your business. And that's like an amazing thing, right? So I'm trying to keep things at a price point that I feel like are not too ridiculous, but I always like to over offer in a way. So if you have a small business that's out there and you want people to know about your business, then I strongly suggest that you go to my website at ladybusiness.com/share small biz, and then you can see one of our first people that's up there. Now, the first person that's up there is Honeybee Grocery Delivery. I apologize, Tamika Wells. So you can see how her graphic looks, because yours will look pretty much the same, except it'll have your information on there. We'll be putting that out on social media as soon as we finish with this. And then you can see that based on what we've already done from her, she's been able to get some news interviews on the news, okay? And so this is one of the things that we wanted to do to help small businesses, because I feel like you have so many great things out there, but if nobody knows about it and nobody's writing about it, it might be hard for you to get into general media as far as like the newspaper or magazines, because maybe they want to charge you way too much things that are over budget. Not that they're not valuable, it's just you might not have big money to spend like that. But for $50, you definitely have it where you're going to get not only the blog post, the graphic, the marketing plan, and then you're also, in addition to that, going to get what? The podcast, which then you can share with everybody else. And so this is what we're offering now. So share small biz, #share small biz. And if you said, look, I'm not a business owner, but I have a friend that's a business owner and I'd like to buy them a gift card so that this way I can help them share their biz. When you go to that page and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see that you can also buy gift cards in increments of $50 or $100. Now, your friend could use that for the Share Small Biz package. They could use it for our business plan review. They could use it for our one-on-one business consultation. So just because you don't own a business does not mean you can't help another business owner. And they would be able to then go ahead and use their gift card and go ahead and get whatever services that they need based on the price point that is being provided. So just wanted to share that with you because I kept thinking about how else can I help small businesses and make it something that is, in my opinion, definitely affordable, definitely something that's reasonable, but something that's also of value to you. So I'm hoping that that'll be something that you guys can use. And, as always, I tell you, honey, show up and show out and continue to give it to the people.